So what's going on guys, Kates here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today I will show you top 10 crazy base designs and how to build them in Sons of the Forest. So this video is a building tutorial where not only I will show you how to build, but as well you will be able to see amazing design ideas, like this for example. So then if you like any of these designs or buildings, then I will show you how to build them in your own playthrough and much more. And by the way, if you want your own base reviewed and shown in my next video, then join my Discord and in the Forest channel, send me some screenshots or gameplay. So if this sounds interesting to you, then let's get right into it. So then moving over to the first one, which is the island base. So for example, we can build something like this. So if we open up our GPS and if you come to this location, then you can build a base like this. Like you can see here, we have 3 buildings. There are 2 buildings across both sides of the island, and then one base in the middle of the island. This base is actually pretty simple to build, it just requires a lot of time. So then first of all, building walls should be self-explanatory. We just gather logs and then place them one by one. And then lastly, we can cut spikes by holding our axe like this and then chopping one by one. Then as far as the transportation goes, we have here 2 ways of moving. So then first of all, here we have the zipline, which we can use to not make doors and just zipline across the base. And we can do this as well by just getting a rope gun, which you can find in this cave. And then when you got it, then we can attach this one side of the rope to a tree or whatever else we want. Then we can shoot this to the other side of the wall and attach the zipline, and that's it. Now each time we press E, we can zip across the zipline. And then the second method of transporting is this bridge. So this time we just build few logs horizontally on both sides of the island, or wherever you want to build it. Then we just take a rope and right click once. When this checkmark comes up, then we can go to the other side and attach this rope again by right clicking. And then lastly we can take another rope and right click again, and this will create these 2 ropes. So then lastly we just take a bunch of logs and place them till we fully fill the bridge. And by the way, sometimes the rope may be too short, especially if you want to build it in the water. So then you can either way wait for the winter and then build on top of the ice, or instead use one of these lookout tower blueprints, and they can be placed in the water as well. And then last but not the least, building these big houses are actually the easiest structures. So we just build this type of squares and then we fill them with floors. And then when you're done building your platform as much as you want, then we build logs, which we can do just by placing logs horizontally. We want to build something like this. And then lastly, to build a roof, we want to build something like this. And depending on how roof you want, you can do this multiple times. So base building is actually pretty simple if we take a look at the big picture. A house is usually built from squares and triangles. So we build as many squares as we want for the walls and platform, and then we build this type of triangles for the roof. So we place the logs in this type of position, and then we get a half log, which we can easily do by placing a log like this, then taking an axe and then chopping it to half. And then when these arrows come up, we place them in between both logs like this, and that's it. Here we have a support, so now we can build a triangle and then fill it with half logs, or make another one of these 2 logs and a half log for support. And then when you're done filling up the roof, that's it. And then here we have few more other screenshots for more inspiration. So if you want to, you can go hardcore and build these type of walls around the whole island, or perhaps just make a small base with only zip lines. So then for the second base design, we have this church. You don't have to build this church per se, but I found this design and building very impressive, so I just wanted to showcase it. And then as well, if we take a look at the interior design, then it looks very nice. So overall this base consists of again squares and triangles. So we build this type of stairs by building these triangles on both sides. And then if we right click on the empty spot, then this arrow will change. So then we can place the actual stairs. Then as far as the doors go, enemies can go through doors. So if you want to build them, then it's only for design. And we can do this by making this type of wall, then taking an axe and cutting out this type of space. And then we can take half logs, and when this arrow comes up, we place them, and that's it. And then as far as building the church itself goes, this whole building is built from this type of square structure. So if you want to build multiple squares like this, then in the middle you want to put half logs. Then now they can support the other 2 logs. So we can easily remove them, and that's it. These arrows may sometimes take long time to appear, but if you want to try to position your character in different ways, then it will work. And then when we have learned this, then now if we want our roof 2 or 3 times bigger, then we just keep building this type of structure. And just each time we build one higher structure, then we remove the previous middle part. And again, as you can see in the screenshot, if on both sides of the base you build the support structures, then at the end of the roof you can build the roof square the same way and then remove the bottom parts. And then lastly, to build chairs, tables, and these type of lamps, then just press B to open the crafting book. Then select furniture, and if you scroll through the furniture section, then you can find all of these blueprints for these designs. So then for the next design, we have the platform base. And if you take a look at the screenshot and think about it, it's just built like 100 times. So similar like to the first base, we can just place logs like this, then take a half log, then place in between them, then remove the previous support log, and if you want to build multiple layers like this in the base, then just do this multiple times. So again, place logs like this, then place half log in between, and then remove the rest of the support log. And then when you're done, place logs in this triangle shape, and then fill them with half logs, and that's about it. And if you're interested in the zipline or how to build them, then check the first base design where I explained everything. So then now let's take a look at more interior designs. So we have something like this. And as I explained in the other designs, we can take our crafting book and place blueprints for the shelves, tables, chairs, and etc. And then lastly, to get all of these items and place them like this, then we can just go to one of the bunkers, aka the flashing pinks. Then when we are there in the bunker, loot everything and build a base. Then we save the game and log out and then come back in, and all of the items will respawn. So we can do this as much as we want, and then when we are full, we just come to our shelves and place the items by pressing the E button, and then select all of the items we want placed. And by the way, these crisps and soups you can find in this food and drinks bunker, while the pills and the energy drinks you can find at your crash site. So now let's take a quick look at how to be efficient. And here I found a very cool transporting design. So no matter where your base is, you can build this type of log transport, that each time you place logs on the zipline, when they finish at the end of the zipline, they will automatically go inside the storage like this. So we just simply take our rope gun again and attach this one side and then attach it again to the other side. And then at the end of the other side, where you want your logs transported, as close as you can, build these few storages. And then now each time you will send the logs on the zipline, they will automatically go into the storages. The new game mechanics are that if you drop a log close to a storage, then it will automatically go inside the storage, instead of just falling on the ground like normally. So if we build storages close to a zipline, then we can build this very efficient log transportation. So then let's move over to our walls. And there are different wall designs, and most people just prefer to place one log to another and then just cut the spikes out. But here I want to show you a better and much more stronger design, which not only will protect you but give you the ability to see when the enemies are coming, and you can even go on top the walls to shoot the enemies from. So this design is super simple. We just build this type of wall horizontally, and then we leave this one log space open. Then we place logs on both sides, so we can get on top of the wall, or even you can build here stairs. And then lastly, in front of the walls, we want to put another side of the spiked walls. So now if the enemy attacks, we can see through the window because of these side logs. And this way, while the enemy is trying to destroy the first wall defense, we can get on top of the second one and get easy headshots. So then as far as jobs go, we can of course use the blueprint ones from our crafting book, but we can as well use this easy stick structure that especially big enemies can get stuck on and take damage. So we just simply place a stick, and then if we get our axe and see this arrow, then when we left click we get to move the stick in this position and sharpen it. And then lastly we can put few rocks around it to reinforce it. So then let's take a closer look at the best door design. As I previously showed you, the fastest and the best door is using the zipline, because normal doors anyone can open, even the enemies. But there's the second door option as well. So we can build this type of wall by just simply taking the rope and placing it outside of the base. And then inside the base, build this type of stairs. So again, we just simply left click to get these arrows changed. And then we place half logs one by one. And now we have an easy and fast working door that we can use from both sides that the enemy can't access. So then for one of the last building tips, I just wanted to show you multiple unique base designs. So let's start at the first base. Here we have multiple snow houses, and these are just for your own building inspiration, because if you watch the previous tips, then you should know already how to build these type of buildings. Then now let's move over to the second design, which is a massive beach house. So again we have these basic walls and this big house, which again was built by making squares and filling them in, and then the roof was using this design. So we place these logs, then place a half log, then remove the previous support, and we can build this as much as we want. And then as far as the interior goes, again we can build these beds and other structures by using crafting book blueprints. And we can build this open space roof by just placing logs like this, then placing half log supports on both sides, and then remove the previous logs. Then let's move over to the next one, and here we have a cool forest base. This was my first ever base design, so we build walls around it, and then the roof and the building should be self-explanatory. And then lastly, to build these stairs, we just first of all need this tree, then we use one of the tree blueprints to build a platform, and then we just connect both sides of the house. And then just for a quick building idea, here we have another small but cool base. This guy again used the same strategy, but what he did to make this front look like this, he built this type of walls with half logs, so then he could place full logs in between and make this cool small windows. And then lastly, again using the same design that I showed you, here we have one more picture of the interior and how the base structure can look inside. And then for the last and final design, I wanted to show you the biggest and highest towers that have been built as of right now. So as far as we know, there is no sky limit. So if you want to build something like this, then this is the most simplest structure that you just build hundreds of different times. So all it is just building squares on top of squares. And then to get from one level to another, they use the zip line and these stairs, which again you can make by right clicking and changing this arrow, and that's about it. So with that said, I really do appreciate everyone for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, feedback or other good Sounds of the Forest building tutorials that you would like to see in the next video, then feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. And while you're doing that, please click like, subscribe and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and you won't miss any more amazing content from me. With all this said, you have an amazing day and I will see you in my next video, so take it easy, peace.